Scandinavian Bob here, hi. There are guys out there who try NoFap and they do not really feel any strong benefits, and naturally they then start questioning all the hype surrounding NoFap. Well, there can be many reasons behind why someone experienced just very mild or even no benefits from NoFap, and I have talked about these reasons in some of my older videos, but today I'm going to give you a few more reasons and some questions you need to ask yourself if you are not seeing any progress. So do yourself a favor now and answer the following questions as honestly as you can. Are you drinking a lot of alcohol? Are you using any kind of other drugs? Are you playing several hours of video games per day? Are you eating junk food more days of the week than not? Are you aimlessly browsing the internet several hours a day? Are you addicted to social media? You see, all of these are what we call supernormal stimuli, and each of them can actually be potent enough to numb your reward system if you really overuse them. Now, you also need to understand that desensitization is not an on-off thing, it's more of a spectrum, meaning one can be more or less desensitized. But the fact is, if you are really hammering your brain's reward system with high amounts of some or several of these, then it is indeed possible to be so numb that you don't experience any benefits from NoFap at all. Those of you who have been following me for a while now are familiar with my own reboot history, and you also know that I was struggling for years before I finally became free, and this means that I also had many different streaks over the years, and on some of them I saw just mild benefits and on others almost no benefits, and in the beginning I too was skeptical when I heard guys claiming how amazing they felt. But now I'm going to share what I experienced on one of my streaks with you. Oh man, I remember this streak like it was yesterday. You see, many years ago I also drank quite a lot of alcohol, but during this particular streak I had decided to go without it for a long time. And there is one evening I remember especially well. I was on day 85 of zero alcohol and on day 30 of no adult sites. And for 30 days I had also limited my internet use to max 1 hour per day, almost zero social media, and I was also on a 30 days of no junk food. I was sitting there in front of my TV and there was a documentary going on and I just had this amazing feeling. I remember seeing a sunset and it suddenly just hit me hard how beautiful it was, and the background music that was playing sounded so amazing. I suddenly felt this childlike excitement, like we had when we were 9 or 10 years old, when everything was exciting about life. Oh man, that evening the music sounded better to me than it had done in maybe 20 years, and I had this tingly feeling in my body of just being so alive. It was almost like having feelings of urges in the body, but without the urge to act out, if that makes sense. It was this vibrant feeling, and I knew right then and there that man, this no PMO lifestyle was really working for me. So cutting down on those super stimulating things had clearly done a lot of good to my dopamine system. Now, I don't want you to stare yourself blind at the days here, because again, we are all different and this was not my first streak either. And as you know, if you have long enough streaks and your slips are not that big, then your progress is cumulative, meaning it builds up even with some relapses in between. So my day 30 right here does not have to say that much, as it could be another guy's day 75 for example, or even my own day 75 but on another streak. If you keep hammering your reward system with stupid amounts of stimuli, and don't expect to get those amazing benefits either. That said, some unlucky guys who are severely addicted might need a much longer time before starting to see any benefits at all, even if they cut out everything. And also, word of warning here, if you are just starting out on this journey, then don't try to tackle every bad habit at once, because that is just too difficult. Get some momentum going with one thing first and then tackle another bad habit. What you can and should do, however, is, well, let's say it's your second week of no PMO and you are seriously trying to quit that habit for good. You are impatient and you want to start feeling better as soon as possible, so you look at those supernormal stimuli wondering how you should go about it. Well, instead of quitting every one of those at the same time, what you can do right away is to limit your use. Have zero tolerance for PMO, but then, for example, make a rule of max 60 minutes of video games per day, and perhaps eating junk food max 2 days a week. You have to experiment with yourself here and be flexible in order to find out what works best for you, and then the further you get into your streak and the less you do those unhealthy low-value dopamine activities, the more awesome you will start to feel. The alcohol though, well, if you are consuming a lot of it, I would really try to cut down on that pretty quickly, as it will hold you back in so many ways, and it significantly increases your risk of PMO relapses as well. Alright, I hope you found this informative, and if you need my help with relapses, you can find a link to my coaching page under this video. Just click on that and I'll get you up and running. And as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself.